What's up, guys? It's me, Tiff. And the Celsius Network Examiner's Report is now out, and it's even more damning than I expected it to be. It is an absolute behemoth of a document. It's over 600 pages long, and it is chock full of Celsius's lies, mismanagement, and even their, quote, ponzi-like behavior. So let's dive into this damning examiner's report and just marvel at all of the disgusting things Alex Mashinsky and the other co-founders did to enrich their own lives at our expense. But first, a quick word from my sponsor, Aura. So, as fellow Celsius creditors, you might remember that back in July, all of our customer email addresses were actually leaked by one of Celsius's vendors, customer.io. Well, this left us all vulnerable to hackers and phishing scammers, which are already a huge problem in the crypto space. Well, that's why I'm genuinely excited for my partnership with Aura. Aura is a company that protects you from scammers and hackers by scanning the dark web for your sensitive information like your email addresses, your passwords, your home address, your phone number, and alerts you immediately if it finds anything, as well as automatically requests removal for you. Aura actually found some of my personal passwords leaked on the dark web, as well as my phone number and home address, and they automatically requested removal for me. So genuinely, shout out Aura. Thank you, Aura, for making me feel safer. I highly recommend trying the 14-day free trial of Aura at aura.com/Tiffany to check and see if any of your sensitive information has been leaked on the dark web, as it probably has been after Celsius. So thank you again, Aura, and back to the video. Okay, so again, this is an absolute behemoth of a document, so I might have to make multiple videos on this because I've read a lot of it, but I certainly haven't finished the entire 600 plus page report. So we can dive into a bit of it today and circle back to the rest on another date. So we obviously all got roped into Celsius because they claim to be safe, better than a bank, and built on trust and transparency. But as it turns out, Celsius was lying to us from the very beginning. And behind the scenes, Celsius conducted its business in a starkly different manner than how it marketed itself to its customers in every key respect. In fact, Celsius abandoned its promise of transparency from the very start, even lying about the ICO, in which they failed to sell all of the Cell tokens on offer. Celsius never told its community that it failed to sell all of the Cell. Despite its promises of transparency, Celsius debated internally whether to tell its community how the ICO actually turned out, but decided not to do so because it feared its community would be upset. Celsius also did not reveal that while Alex Mashinsky originally pledged to purchase any unsold tokens from the ICO, he failed to close on that purchase. Moreover, starting in 2020, Celsius decided to substantially expand its purchases of Cell for the purpose of increasing Cell's price. Instead of buying Cell when it needed to pay rewards, Celsius began timing its purchases so that they would prop up Cell's price by creating activity in the market. Celsius also began placing resting orders to buy Cell, which were triggered if the price of Cell dipped below a set amount. So, artificially inflating the price of Cell token, which we later find out was done largely through the use of customer funds, so we'll get to that later. Although Celsius told customers it would purchase Cell token to pay customer rewards, it did not tell its customers the extent to which it was making the market for Cell. Instead, in one of his AMAs, Alex Mashinsky told customers that the over 2,000% price increase this last year was a great validation of the utility of Cell token, as well as the flywheel running on its own, instead of us having to crank it up once in a while. Internally, however, Celsius's head of trading desk recognized that Celsius was in fact cranking up that flywheel. He wrote to other employees, including Celsius's then chief financial officer, just to clarify between us three, the last 3 to 4 months we always bought more Cell token than what we pay as interest per week, but we did not buy it for the interest payments. That is just what we told the community. After a round of Cell purchases in 2020, the same Celsius employees congratulated themselves on our good work, resulting in people thinking the price of Cell is going to the moon. Ha ha. Fucking sociopaths? Well, this artificially inflated and drastically increasing price of Cell token had 3 significant consequences for Celsius and its insiders. First, it significantly inflated Celsius's balance sheet. In February 2019, Celsius added its treasury Cell to its balance sheet at then market prices, resulting in an increase in reported assets of $6.6 million. By December 30th, 2021, Celsius reported that the market value of its treasury Cell was $1.5 billion. Ridiculous. In 2022, Celsius employees routinely discussed that Cell was worthless, stating that its price should be zero, and that Celsius should assume Cell is worth zero since we cannot liquidate our current Cell position, and questioned whether any party other than Celsius itself was even purchasing Cell token. Anyway, secondly, the increasing price of Cell token benefited Celsius insiders who held most of the Cell tokens following the ICO and then made millions of dollars selling a substantial portion of their Cell tokens. Between 2018 and the petition date, Alex Mashinsky sold at least 25 million Cell tokens, realizing at least $68.7 million on these sales. Daniel Leone, also a founder of Celsius, sold at least 2.6 million Cell tokens for at least $9.74 million. Just disgusting, and I want to claw it back. During the height of Celsius's market making, Celsius often sought to protect Cell from price drops that it attributed to Alex Mashinsky's sales of large amounts of his personal Cell holdings. As a result of Alex Mashinsky's sales, Celsius often increased the size of its resting orders to buy all of the Cell that Alex Mashinsky and his other companies were selling. These trades caused Celsius's former chief financial officer to write, "We are talking about becoming a regulated entity, and we are doing something possibly illegal and definitely not compliant." As one employee noted in an internal Slack communication, "If anyone ever found out our position and how much our founders took out in US dollars, could be a very, very bad look. We are using users' USDC to pay for employees' worthless Cell token, all because the company is the one inflating the price to get the valuations to be able to sell back to the company." Finally, Celsius did not earn sufficient yield on its crypto asset deployments to fully fund its Cell buybacks. As a result, it began using customer-deposited Bitcoin and Ether to fund its Cell purchases. So Celsius was using our sweet little Bitcoin and ETH that we were depositing onto the platform to buy worthless Cell tokens at artificially inflated prices. So it's just really tragic. Celsius recognized that it should not use customer assets to purchase the coins necessary to cover liabilities to other customers, but it justified its use of customer deposits to fill this hole in its balance sheet on the basis that it was not selling customer deposits, but instead posting them as collateral to borrow the necessary coins. Celsius also used the proceeds of these borrowings to continue to purchase Cell token. Shocker. In April 2022, Celsius's coin deployment specialist described Celsius's practice of using customer stablecoins and growing short in customer coins to buy Cell token as very ponzi-like. Lovely to hear. A few weeks later, when Celsius made another push to prop up the price of Cell, Celsius's former vice president of Treasury asked where the cash was coming from to make the Cell purchases, and Celsius's coin deployment specialist replied, "Users, like always." A former manager at Celsius put it bluntly, "We spent all of our cash paying executives and trying to prop up Alex's net worth in Cell tokens." In total, Celsius spent at least $558 million buying its own token on the market. From 2018 through the petition date, Celsius transferred at least 223 million Cell tokens from the secondary market into its own wallets, a greater number than the total amount of Cell, 203 million, released to the public in the ICO. In effect, Celsius bought every Cell token in the market at least one time, and in some instances, twice. But once Celsius acquired this Cell token, it had no ability to deploy its Cell outside of its own platform. In fact, Celsius never even liquidated any of its Cell to address its liquidity needs, even as it scrambled to find liquid assets in the run-up to June 12, 2022, the date on which it paused all customer withdrawals. So great job, Celsius, for using our Bitcoins and Ether to buy your worthless illiquid Cell tokens, which you couldn't sell when you needed to because nobody wants your shitty Cell tokens. So thank you for that. We're going to wrap today up by talking about Celsius's reward rates because publicly, Celsius always claimed they were giving us up to 80% of their revenues. However, Celsius did not distribute up to 80% of its revenues to its customers because it had little to no profits to distribute. Celsius also made no effort to set its reward rates based on its yield. When regulators asked Celsius how it set its reward rates, Celsius explained that there was no correlation between the interest rates it paid to customers and the yield it actually generated from investing customer assets. Instead, Celsius consistently set its reward rates based on what it perceived to be necessary to beat the competition. So it was not based upon the yield it was actually earning from investing customer assets. While this strategy of offering high rates suggested to customers that Celsius was generating the high yield on investments that it advertised, the reality was that for most of Celsius's existence, the rewards it paid exceeded by substantial amounts the revenue Celsius could earn. In fact, the examiner concludes that Celsius was never a profitable company, so that's a lovely note to leave this all off on. So, in sum, Celsius was using our customer deposits to prop up the price of Cell Token to inflate its balance sheet and to cover shortfalls in its yield payment obligations to other customers. Meanwhile, Alex Mashinsky and S. Daniel Leone were cashing out millions in Cell Token. Alex Mashinsky cashed out at least $68.7 million of Cell Token, while S. Daniel Leone cashed out at least $9.7 million of Cell Token. And I would like to claw all of that back. So anyway, I think that was a lovely little start to this monster of a report, so maybe I'll make another video going into more of it later, but good start, guys. It was actually worse than I thought it would be, which says quite a lot. So anyway, if you want to follow along for more, you can like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, want to give a huge shout out to my sponsor, Aura. And I genuinely think that all previous Celsius customers should give it a shot because, especially after that customer.io leak of our email addresses, it'll help you see if any of your sensitive information has been sold out there on the dark web like mine has been. So, in my opinion, it's actually 100% worth a shot. And for a 14-day free trial, go to aura.com/Tiffany or this handy QR code somewhere here. But obviously, do whatever you want. It's your life. Anyway, I love you all so very much, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye. This is my Marvel style end credit scene, and I will put something random here, and I'll decide that later. Bye.
Almost done. I just finished the knot on one of them.
Tip, are you okay?
No. You're fine.